All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother Wild Rumya. Back with another lesson, Lord willing, to be edifying. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Waha, Rakakwadash, Barakathi Yahweh, Barakathi Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 men of the Lord. You see on the highways and byways prophesying in the name and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, also in the correct doctrine. I want to send a shalom to the 1/3 men, women, and children that will escape the judgment of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai by their faith. Just got another lesson I want to bring out. As you can see, this thing is finna go hot, and we're in a time of war, man. And you're seeing it's slow rolling, but the MOTB is next. As you see things spiral out of control, these camps, these concentration camps, you know what I'm saying, getting filled, and they have other ones being built or in the process of being built. All hell is about to break loose here in Babylon the Great, man. But the nations are being prepared for when the MOTB is implemented. This thing is going to move fast, as Pastor Hall always says, man. When they put that chip out there and make it mandatory, it's going to move fast. And this war is going to make it move fast. Because soon, like I said, I'll say it like this: as soon as they implement it, it's going to move fast because it's going to be time for those missiles to be shot off. Because the nations are speaking about nothing but war, man. No one is talking about peace. No one is talking about agreements. Well, I ain't gonna say they ain't talking about it. They saying it, but they're not talking about it, man. Everyone knows it's a time of war. The only one that's talking about peace is Babylon the Great, man. And you know what the scriptures say when they talk about peace and safety, then sudden destruction. So he's the only one. DT is the only one talking about peace, and while all the nations are talking about war. So let's get right into it, man.
Bullshit thrown at it. We get a lot of bullshit thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. It's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless.
Do you want to sanction him? Lindsey Graham has a sanctions bill on Russia. Do you want him to move ahead
I'm
with
looking
that?
at it, yeah. No, I'm looking. The Senate is passing and passed a very, very tough sanctions. But yeah, I'm looking at it.
And you'd sign that?
It's an optional bill. It's totally at my option. They pass it totally at my option, and to terminate totally at my option. And I'm looking at it very strongly.
So you seeing what he said? He said Putin throws a lot of bullshit at us, man. So these are all war of words, man. War of words. And Trump is not holding his tongue, man. And Russia and Putin are not either. They are ready to fight because, as Trump is going to say here, that pretty much the BRICS countries are forming a way to destroy the dollar, man, which they already have. They just haven't brought it all the way to fruition for the people to basically gravitate to it. But this is what's going to bring in the MOTB, man. This is what's going to bring in the mark, man, the chip. This is what's going to bring it in. So now that you got a war of words, them speaking about fighting, but it's soon to go hot, where it's going to go hot, where it's not going to be a hand-to-hand combat. It's going to be thermonuclear missiles, man, being shot from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth, as the scriptures foretold, man. Now Trump is the last president of Babylon the Great, man. It's undoubtedly the scene now, man. You can't say that he's not it, because everything is moving fast, man. It's moving fast now. Let me continue on, man. Quit rambling.
I speak to him a lot about getting this thing done. And I always hang up and say, well, that was a nice phone call. And then missiles are launched into Kiev or some other city. And I say, that's strange. And after that happens 3 or 4 times, you say, the talk doesn't mean anything. My conversations with him are always very pleasant. I say, isn't that a very lovely conversation? And then the missiles go off that night. I go home, I tell the First Lady, and I spoke with Vladimir today. We had a wonderful conversation. She said, oh, really? Another city was just hit. So it's like, look, I don't want to say he's an assassin, but he's a tough guy. It's been proven over the years. He's fooled a lot of people. He fooled Bush. He fooled a lot of people. He fooled Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden. He didn't fool me. But what I do say is that at a certain point, ultimately talk doesn't talk. It's got to be action. It's got to be results. And I hope he does it. It's potentially such a great country to be wasting so many people on this and the money. And look at what's happened to his economy. Look at what's happened. So
And with the threat in 50 days,
yeah,
economy will be hit
it's,
very hard.
I mean, look, I hope he's going to do it. He knows the deal. He knows what a fair deal is. If there is such a thing as a fair deal, there's no winners here. This is a loser. He's a loser. And I dealt with him from the beginning. It wouldn't have happened, but I will say Ukraine was the apple of his eye. We talk about it. It was the apple of his eye, but it wasn't going to happen. And he understood that. It wasn't going to happen. And then I noticed, after I was out, I noticed soldiers forming at the border. And then I heard horrible, stupid things being said from the other side. And I said, they're really handling it very, very wrong. It's a shame.
See, Trump is looking at this as a business deal, and the other nations are looking at it as basically survival, man. Now, the scriptures tell you about the Russians having hooks put in their jaws, and this shows you that the Lord is working on the spirits of these nations, man. The spirit of these kings, man. Let me get that real quick, just to start off with the scriptures, because this is undoubtable that we're finna go to World War III, man. There's no doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about it. World War III will happen in our lifetime. The Battle of Armageddon will happen in our lifetime, man. Because you can clearly see, let me start right here, that the Lord has the spirit on the Russians to fight, and they're not changing, man. They're not going to change their mind or go back on what they want to do. They want to fight, man. And you're going to see, I'm going to get the North Koreans do too, and they are continually giving troops to the Russians, man. Let's start here real quick, and I'm gonna get right back to those videos and those article headlines. This is Isaiah 13 and verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." So they're not worrying about sanctions. They're not worried about Babylon putting sanctions on them and them not getting a deal done. They're not worried about that, man. They want to bring Babylon the Great out of power, out of rulership. And this is the spirit the Lord put on them, man. And this cannot change or be changed. And see, Trump, they think they're going to make a deal and it's going to be peace and he's going to control his account, all this stuff that's not in the scriptures, man. Something that he thinks that he's going to get the NWO put in place, which we know through the scriptures, that thing is not going to work, man. It's not going to happen. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah." And we know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. Fire, man. "It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation." So this is the judgment the Lord pronounced against Babylon the Great. It'll be overthrown like Sodom and Gomorrah and never be inhabited again from generation to generation. "Neither shall the Arabians pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts in but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses. The dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come." And that's what we're telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That time is very close, man. These nations are now, Trump was talking about making a deal, and when he first came into office, now that same spirit is being changed in him, man. He's not thinking about it. You see how his tone is toward Putin now, man. So the Lord is stirring this thing up, man, to go hot. So as soon as they implement the MOTB, this thing gonna go nuclear, man. It says the wild beasts of the islands shall cry there, shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces, and her time is near to come. And that's what we continue to warn our people. Repent, man. All hell is about to break loose. He says, and her days shall not be prolonged. See that? The Lord has his place on a time frame. The hourglass, I would say. The sand is continuing to come down out of the hourglass, man. The time is running. And the Lord is not going to prolong this place any longer, man. The Lord is going to fulfill his word. And I want to hit this real quick, but I spoke before, Proverbs 21, because these nations, the Spirit of the Lord is working on these nations' mind, the king's minds, man. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. See that? The Lord is turning these men's mind to fight. Every way of man is right in his own eyes, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua pondereth the heart. So you see that Trump, he is thinking about this is going to be good, make a deal and all this and that. But we see the Lord is having these kings' minds turning toward war. See, every way of a man is right in his own eyes. See that? See, Trump's eyes is he think, well, I'm doing right. I'm gonna bring peace. That ain't what the Lord agenda is, man. His agenda is to destroy Babylon the Great. He says, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua than sacrifice. So we know the Lord is going to make major moves, man. And you can see, like I said, these kings' hearts are being manipulated, I would say, by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to do his will. But we know all of this is the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. As you see, North Korea says it is ready to take military action against. And this is nothing can be changed, man. He just wake up one day and say, I want to do this. No, man, the Lord put it on his spirit to think this way, man. So he wants to go to war with U.S. and Japan, man, to counter security threats. So he's ready to go to full-fledged war, man. He's ready to go to full-fledged war, like you see right here. And this is going to happen, man. It says breaking Pentagon. This is the other day, 12th. It says breaking Pentagon is urging Japan and Australia to clarify what role they would play if the U.S. and China went to war over Taiwan. The Financial Times reported on Saturday. See, this is past Saturday, man. So they already getting prepared for war, man. It ain't nothing we just making up or just saying this to get somebody scared or fearmonger you or anything. No, man. This is the spirit the Lord has put on these nations to fight. And I'm gonna get a couple more of these little clips. This is New York Post. It says NATO jets scrambled as Putin launches his largest drone attack yet on Ukraine, just hours after Trump ripped Russian president for his bullshit. And you just seen the clip earlier that he ripped him. And Putin just sent drones in there, the largest attacks. See, they're not playing, man. If China even thinks about taking Taiwan, I will turn Beijing to ash. Now these are war of words, man. Which they think that just because Babylon the Great has this mighty army and power that no nation can come against it, man. Now, I'm not going to play this because I believe they're going to give me a copy strike for this. But if you seen it was all on X, where DT said he would send missiles on Moscow and Beijing. You just seen the clip where he just said that he would bomb the shit out of it. And I'm not going to play that because I know they'll strike that. So you should have been seen it by now. If you're not, you can go on X and see it. And this is what the response from China was. After Trump threatens China, Chinese defense minister says, be careful what you wish for. And you see, man, things are going nuclear. It's gonna go nuclear, man. It's not gonna be a little hand-to-hand combat, man. This is gonna go nuclear, man. Now check this out.
We have breaking news as North Korea warns that it is ready for war. Now, it is being reported today, July 13th, that North Korea has supposedly issued a warning signaling to the United States and its allies that it is in fact ready to take any and all forms of military action against them. Now, the threat follows a U.S., South Korea, Japan aerial drill involving a U.S. strategic bomber. Now, Pyongyang sees the joint drill as a direct security threat to its sovereignty. Now, it was reported by KCNA that North Korea will respond to any, quote, provocative military acts near its territory, whereas the United States and its allies say that this drill was meant to deter any aggression, not provoke. Only one thing is clear: tensions are certainly rising. And North Korea's message is also very clear, that they are watching, they are ready, and that they are waiting.
You see, no one's playing, man. Like a clip on Friday, man. This is on the 13th, July 13th, when he brought this video out. Like Craig told Smokey, man, nobody's playing, man. And see, and DT thinks everybody's afraid of him. He's scared. He's Debo. And what happened to Debo at the end of the movie, man? So that Debo tactic is not going to work against these nations, man, because they're nuclear powered, man. They're nuclear powered. And see, the destruction is coming from the Almighty, man. But he's going to use these nations, these kings, to use their weapons, which is the Lord's army, to do his will, man. And that's to knock Babylon the Great off the planet, man. Now check out what Lindsey Graham is saying, because they're gearing up for war, man. And everyone is gearing up for war. Now check this out.
Regarding Putin's invasion of Russia is about to change. I expect in the coming days you will see weapons flowing at a record level to help Ukraine defend themselves. I expect in the coming days that there will be tariffs and sanctions available to President Trump he's never had before. I expect in the coming days more support from Europe regarding their efforts to help Ukraine. Putin made a miscalculation here. For 6 months, President Trump tried to entice Putin to the table. The attacks have gone up, not down. One of the biggest miscalculations Putin has made is to play Trump. And you just watch, in the coming days and weeks, there's going to be a massive effort to get Putin to the table. And to those who are helping him, China buying cheap Russian oil and having no accountability, those days are about over.
You see how prideful Lindsey was just talking to him about those days are over, man. So these are fighting words, man. These are fighting words. No one is holding their tongue back anymore, man. The nations are ready to fight, man. And I had another video I want to say. I'm trying to find it to see if I still had it. No, I didn't. I posted it, but I did not save it. Well, anyway, now as you see Lizzie say that China is helping them, so that shows you that they're fin to go to full-fledged war, man. They're preparing for war with China, they're preparing war with Russia, and they're preparing war with North Korea, and they're preparing war with Iran, man. So this is going to be a global war, man. This is a global war that's going to happen in your lifetime. This is not going to be put off because the dollar is being the dollar is being targeted. And Trump said if they lose the dollar, the power of the dollar over the globe, then that's like losing a world war, man. And that's what's going to bring in the MOTB, man, which is going to be a digital currency, CBDCs. So you're seeing that we're not playing around, man. These scriptures are coming to life. We're telling you exactly what the word says is going to happen, and you're seeing what the word is doing, man. So no one is going to say, "Well, I didn't know what was going to happen." Everyone knew, because the word has been going out from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone down, man, for many, many years, man. I'm going to hit this scripture real quick. This is Jeremiah 51:28. It says, "Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion." This is the war. It's going to be a global war, man. It is all to destroy Babylon the Great, man. He says, and the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be performed against Babylon. This is not a joke, man. Everything the Lord said was going to happen to Babylon the Great, it's going to happen, man. He said, every purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon desolate without an inhabitant. Man, I don't know what else to tell you if you're not looking into these scriptures, man. If you're not taking heed to the word and studying and looking into these scriptures, you're going to be caught off guard, man. And a judgment is going to grip you, and you're not going to be protected by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. The scriptures are not bending. They're not going to hold off because you don't know or you don't care to get it. The Lord is moving this thing ahead, moving this thing forward, man. This is Joel 3 in verse 9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war." See that? The Lord is telling the nations, prepare war, man. And that's why all the nations, their spirit is into getting ready for war, man. The Lord got on their minds to get ready for war. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And that's what's happening, man. All the men of war, all the nations are ready for war, man. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, "I am strong." And all the nations that are weak, that you would think is weak, like a North Korea or Iran or even the African Burkina Faso. These nations that you think they would never try to step up to these Western nations to fight. Man, they're ready for war, man. They're ready to die for what they stand for, man, and stand on what they believe in, man. Only one is not preparing themselves for what's going to happen is you blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, man, that think Babylon the Great is going to continue to stay here, man. You're going to be soon mistaken, man. What we've been blessed to have, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, was the truth, man. And the Lord woke us up for salvation. And a lot of our people are not going to be woke up for that time of salvation. They're going to be woke up to a destruction. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen and gather yourselves together round about. Hither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua," man. So we know that this is the time of war, man. This is the time of war. And we have to be prepared mentally and spiritually for the time we're coming into, man. The only hedge of protection you're going to have is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The world is going to be in a whirlwind, man. And the only hedge of protection you're going to have is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. We in those times of war, man. This is Ecclesiastes 3:8. A time to love and a time to hate. And we're clearly not in a time for love. And you see the people, you showing, man, hatred towards each other, man. A time of war and a time of peace. We're not in a time of peace. So we're definitely in a time of war, man. This is the spirit the Lord has in the earth, man. War. You got, even class wars, race wars, all those, man, everything we've been prophesying from the apostles and elders on down, man. This is what you're seeing, man. The spirit that the Lord put on the earth right now, man. It's not a time of peace. It's not a time of love. We're seeing nations being prepared for war, man. Even the people are being prepared mentally for a war, man. This is Isaiah 55 and verse 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. And the Lord's word is not going to go, I said, it's not going to be changed, man. The Lord is not going to say, well, I got to change the heart. I don't want a World War III to happen. I don't want Esau to come out of power. The word is going to be fulfilled if you believe it or not. You think it's going to happen or not, man. It's going to happen, man. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. See that? What the Lord pleases is to destroy Babylon the Great, man. And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. And it's on the earth, man. That spirit of war, man. So we know Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is working, man, working on our behalf. And he's working in the spirit of these kings to prepare for war, man. And we seeing that every time, like Trump said, every time he talks to Putin, it's a good conversation. And then later on that night, you see drones and shit flying, missiles flying over into Kiev. So you seeing the Lord is working on this mind, Putin's mind and the Russians' mind, that they're not turning back, man. They have something, we know that they have an agenda themselves is to take down the power structure of the dollar, but they also want to have power as well, man. They're tired of being under the shadow of Esau, the shadow of Babylon the Great, man. This is Ezekiel 38. In verse 1 it says, and the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. And we're prophesying against the Russians, man. The king of the Medes. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armory, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So all the nations that the Lord put with the Russians are there, they're prepared to fight, man. They're ready to fight, man. All the talk and all the games and all the sanctions, all that's gonna be soon long gone, man. Because it's gonna be war, man. He said Persians, Ethiopians, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets, Gomer and all his bands, and the house of Togarmah in the north quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with thee. So it's nations that are going to be fighting that is not even spoke of in the scriptures. In Ezekiel 38 is going to fight against Babylon the Great and his allies, man. Even with his Isaiah 17 tells you that Babylon the Great's allies are going to turn on them. So the Lord gave us this information, man, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to prophesy his word to his people, man. And if you take heed to it, you take heed to it. If you don't, the Lord is not going to spare. So Lord Wyndham's edifying, I made it there. Shalom. Shalom.